We have a few other plans for rearranging, including space dividers, privacy curtains, whatnot. Now the kiddos all have bed frames, so we can rearrange the boys' space a little bit to make it more accommodating for their needs.
Being as though he was only 16 years old, clearly Miss Stephanie had to know he was already an offender when they got together.
Apologise for the lighting in here. The lighting's not on our good side today. This might probably be the very last one, but it's a very big important detail, including lives that Stephanie has done.
Marquise, can you hear me or no?
I can hear you. Yeah. I'm waiting on this one, brother.
Oh yeah. Since I've known her, she's never used any kind of racial slur or anything. I've never
seen, got black friends too.
Forever. I've never seen anything like that on her Facebook. I have to go down and look, see what's going on. I've never seen that. Heard that come out of a
screenshot.
There are some super sleuths out here on TikTok who have basically discovered that it's not Stephanie Jenkins, it's actually Stephanie Thompson.
He was already an S offender before you married him.
Just massive trigger warning, that whole side quest to her life, because I'm just so utterly confused about the whole entire thing. The actual guy who she is technically married to is in prison, and is in prison for some really deplorable things that she was privy to knowing before she even got married to him.
Thank you, Kaylee.
So we're going to get into that. We're also going to get into the fact that they have been doing lives. They have addressed some things to do with what Arlita has been saying, who is the mum to Andrew's child that he has kept hidden, that he's refused to have any contact with or pay any money towards for pretty much most of the 12 years of this child being around. Now Arlita's come out and she has made various different videos with receipts, with court cases and all of that, and the fact that he's been summoned, and I don't think Andrew's ever actually bothered to turn up. Top it all off, it's pretty obvious that the reasoning why he doesn't want to get a W-2 job and he just doesn't really want to work is because he doesn't want to pay back the copious amounts of child support that he actually owed.
People say, yes, get a W-2. I would love to get a W-2 that paid me decent enough. But getting a W-2 at 18...
Why does it just gotta be about the pay?
20,
why does nobody consider the health aspect? That most of these W-2 jobs are sucking the life out of you.
If all of that doesn't sound bad enough, I'm quickly going to go over the fact that they have their Amazon wish list has been wishlisting. I've been checking it and I've had a little look, and so many people are out here buying them things, and I've said it from the very beginning. I don't have an issue with people buying things for the kids, but if there's anything that looks like it might be for the parents, please don't. They're going to be getting so much money. I don't know how much. I don't work over on TikTok. I got absolutely zero idea. I only know about it from over this side of the pond. So, but by the sounds of it, thousands of dollars worth of monetary gain. So keep that in mind before you go and buy out of the kindness of your own heart, even though we're all struggling over here, all right? Before you go and buy them things, just have a little think about it. I think time will tell if they actually end up moving out of that apartment. What will they do with that money? Well, Andrew, I think the most labor he's ever actually done in his life. He put up a bunk bed, but all of the beds that they're actually putting up are not in the bedroom. No. They're still in the kitchen/living area. No one's listening. You could fit all of those beds into that one singular bedroom that Andrew and Stephanie currently reside in.
I want to take a quick second to say that I am putting together a video with a big old thank you for everybody who blessed us from our wish list. A lot of the items we had on our wish list were genuine needs, and so they were put to immediate use. Yesterday we put the bunk bed up immediately when it got here, as well as that little vacuum was immediately put to use. We have a few other plans for rearranging, including space dividers, privacy curtains, whatnot. Now the kiddos all have bed frames, so we can rearrange the boys' space a little bit to make it more accommodating for their needs.
Before we get on to Stephanie's past, which by the way is going to be a massive trigger warning. Also, what's happened as well is Stephanie's come on defending the fact that she has been caught out using the N-word. If she's typed it in a comment once, she's blatantly said it, used it, all of this kind of stuff. There was this live that I managed to get a screenshot off from the Reddit thread. I will leave it linked to the description box. They were basically calling her out on it, and they called her out on it so hard that she ended up leaving the chat.
That's kind of where it's like an issue, because it's where it matter.
Yeah. Clock that. Clock it.
I don't know what I would like to see what people are talking about.
She was out here. Somebody said a comment to her, and she said, "Yeah, that's what's up, Ma.
That's what's up, Ma."
And Marquise, just to defend this topic, Since we've been
Screw a black man don't make you black. I'm sorry, Drew. I don't care what you say. The answer is no to that. The answer is no to using the N-word as a white woman. I'm sorry.
There's no past.
There's a hard no for me, but I want you to go ahead. Go right ahead with it.
Marquise, can you hear me or no?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on this one, brother.
Oh yeah. Since I've known her, she's never used any kind of racial slur or anything.
Maybe not from you. You got black friends too.
Forever. I've never seen anything like that on her Facebook.
Oh,
I have to go down and look, see what's going on. I've never seen that.
Somebody put up a screenshot.
You built them. I can't hear them.
You want me to? I mean, I know a couple of us have it.
And I will be happy to put you in the big box.
We're gonna go because
nothing like a good old receipt.
Okay, hold the line.
Nothing like a good receipt.
It's also questioned on why does Andrew not see his 12-year-old son that he basically abandoned, and Stephanie turned around and tried to blame Arlita, who is the mum of this 12-year-old boy, basically tried to blame her, saying that it was somehow her fault and that, you know, she gets in the way or she's like too controlling, etc., etc.
Were you aware of this baby when y'all got together?
Oh yeah, Drew's never hidden anything from me.
So if there's truth to it, because she seems to be very credible, if there is a pattern that is noticed with the man where he has baby or babies, because the rumor is there's more than one, out here that you are aware that are not being financially supported, why is it that you then lay down and start making babies with them as well?
Since we got together, he was paying all of the child support through all of his pay when he was working with W-2. The only time that it hasn't been garnished directly from anything is since we switched to self-employment.
Mm-hmm. So how much time was he spending with the oldest baby before? Because the mom said he hadn't seen the baby in years. He has this kid out here that he hasn't seen in years. To me, that would be a red flag for if you have a dad out here that you know you're doing for me and mine, and we're going to make some more, but you got this one over here that you may be sending money to, but you're not spending any time with.
I mean, and I'm going to say that I kind of personally, my dad, I seen him do that, and it didn't have the perspective until I seen it now, because my mother was always incredibly controlling over any kind of relationship he would have with us kids. And that's kind of the same thing we run in here, is anytime Drew makes an attempt, it seems like it's just a very controlled. So
there are issues between mom and dad that are not being stated. That is causing a break with this baby. Is that a fair?
Yeah. There's more to the dynamic than just the side, and I guess there hasn't been attempts. He hasn't made attempts in a few years, many years, but that's due to a back history that's not being brought up.
And I just want to say straight off the bat, coming from like I was a child to a dad that didn't ever want to be around, and I still don't really know him. And he would also play this card as well, saying that my mum was just getting in the way, or saying that, you know, making it too difficult, even though he basically abandoned me. So I've heard this excuse being mentioned so many times, and I've got friends who went through similar situations, and I've heard from different people that this is such a common thing for the blokes to say who decide to abandon and not pay any money towards. They're just like, well, you know, it was too difficult and the mum was making it so hard, and when I call bullshit, to be honest. So the part that we're going to get into that really is massive trigger warning, we're going to be talking about some instances of rape and that kind of stuff. I'm not going to go too far into it. I'm just going to briefly mention, but if that is too triggering for you, please just skip on. I think her channel name was Brittany, who is up here, who I'm basically going to be using as a resource for all of this, quote unquote, a private investigator. And if she wants to find out something, she will find it out, and she did. She found out all sorts of stuff, found out some stuff to do with Andrew and the fact that I think one of the kids' mums is an addict, was an addict, something's happened there. He was also an addict. He went to rehab, got out, and then he ended up sofa surfing with his child, trying to find somewhere to live. It was all over his Facebook, etc., which obviously is absolutely appalling conditions for a child, but unfortunately that kind of stuff does happen, even though it definitely shouldn't.
I am a private investigator. Like, if I see something and I want to know more, I'm going to find out. And I just want to say, the person I feel the most sympathy for, I feel the worst for, is his oldest son. I'm sorry, not his oldest son, because he has another child that's older. The oldest son that lives in the house with him. This is his son's mother. This is also his son's mother. And if you really looked through this girl Stephanie's page, you would see the video where she stated that the boy's biological mother drank while she was pregnant with him. So I'm going to assume he has some type of fetal alcohol syndrome, because the way she said it, it made it seem like this affected him. Now, Dad, this time last year was my first day in the detox center. Today I'm home with my little man. Every day has been a battle. So this child has 2 addict parents. July 4th, 2018. Illegally evicted. Him and his son out there. No clothes, no blankets, no pillow, no nothing. Looking for a room to rent or something. In 2018, he still didn't have shit. January of 2020. Anyone have a spare room or something for me and my son? So 2018 he was homeless. 2019 you was in rehab. Who knows where he was. 2020 you was still homeless. If you was in rehab in 2019, this means Miss Stephanie probably found you at the rehab center.
That number 1 was already extremely triggering. Number 2, we then had Stephanie, who she was actually married, and I'm gonna play all of the TikToks where I've got this information from. But Stephanie is not a Jenkins. Stephanie was actually married to someone else. And who she was married to, she knew this about them. I think they were like 16 years old. They actually are worded their own mother and also a 7-year-old. 7-year-old girl.
26-year-old registered S offender from Washington is being held without bail after he was charged with kidnapping and S abusing a child under 14. Y'all, this is her husband. Mr. Jenkins is not her husband. This is her husband. You see, she even posted about it. Apparently she was so disturbed about it. But I don't know why, because that's not the first time that has happened. Actually, he was already a S offender before you married him. You see, Mr. Thompson has been a S offender since 2010 for essaying his mother and a 7-year-old. And you still married him. And it looks like you had children with him because her oldest daughter looks like him. Now, I think everybody that follows the Jenkins family should unfollow her and go over to his first baby mom's page, Nails by Arlita, and follow her. So maybe, we can assist her with his child since he's not going to. Since he's not going to pay his child support, maybe we should help her out. Because why are we helping them out? Why? These are horrible people. Y'all did hear that right. Miss Stephanie's first baby daddy, husband, Jeremiah Thompson, essayed his own mother. And you would think it couldn't get any worse than that, but it does. Because he was only 16 years old when he essayed his 60-year-old mother. Being as though he was only 16 years old, clearly Miss Stephanie had to know he was already an offender when they got together. This is Stephanie's mom's TikTok account, Maurice Blake. They look just alike, don't they? She posted this on July 11th. I'm not going to stop until I can say I am not scared for my granddaughters.
yeah, I understand.
So already that is absolutely horrific. I don't feel like I'd even need to tell you guys just how horrific that actually is. But the fact is that she knew this. She must have known this because of the ages where this had happened. And also it was, I think it was in the news at this point, like she would have known. Really gaining into perspective that this woman does not like being alone. Like she doesn't, like, she must be one of those people that just needs men around her, because there is absolutely no way in hell that you would choose to marry a man where you knew all of this. I mean, there's people out there that wouldn't even walk past men that do this, but she married. I don't know if their eldest kid, I don't know. I've got no idea. I really don't want to be going into speculation over this because, like, it's just appalling. If you married someone and they did that after, and you had no idea about it until divorce papers, okay. I mean, I suppose some people can hide the fact that they're pure evil. I don't know. I've never been in that situation ever, thankfully. But the fact is that she knowingly did this. These people are really messed up. And what bugs me the most is that they've gotten so many followers from this mess, which you can say, like, followers don't mean anything. Followers mean something from the sense that you can get, like, brand deals and stuff, and people, you know, you get more deals and you might get sent free things. I mean, I don't know any company that would want to align themselves with them, but I find it so tragic that these are the people who are going viral, who are getting other people's resources purely because we want to help the children, not because we necessarily care about them. But they still get some sort of love and support on the page. This is not just your stereotypical family fallen on hard times, and I just want people just to, like, really get that into their heads. There's a large percentage of people out there who, like, men, women, you know, who have abandoned their child or whatever. Very, 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 very few people would willingly marry a ex-offender who did that. These are not good people. These are not good people. These are not good people whatsoever. I thought at first maybe they're just fallen on hard times, but they've been on hard times for a little while. The fact that they're still unwilling to move out of their bedroom, it just speaks absolute volumes.
What's wrong with the W-2? There's no W-2 that's going to give me $30+ an hour right off the jump of what I need. I've been working since I've been 18 years old.
My time in my life, I got paid enough to work a regular freaking job, or whatever the case is, paid my worth.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say on the topic of today's conversation. I'm so sorry, it was just ultra dark and gloomy, but this might be the very last video I make on these guys. I'm not really sure. I have a feeling that more stuff might come out, like they're gonna be doing some more stuff. I just think that we're just gonna have to wait and see if they end up moving out of that apartment, or if they're just going to end up squandering all that money, because they're going to be getting more money on top of being bought things, and they keep on adding to that Amazon wish list. At this point, they're going to be able to buy these things for themselves, so it's going to be very interesting just to see the route that they're going to go down. But thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are in this world. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I will catch up with you guys in the next video.